welcome back.
Well, thank you for having me back.
It's been a couple of years since we were here.
I remember that well.
About everything.
I do remember that.
All right, so 2 years you've been mayor. Have you accomplished everything you've set out to do thus far?
We're working very hard to make sure that I am accomplishing things.
Well, I have a little list of some of the things you've accomplished, and my goodness, I don't have enough cards to hold it all. Let's talk about some of your street improvements, the big ones. Public Works has been super busy because you've made a commitment to infrastructure and getting things done. Tell me about that.
Absolutely. Well, the first street we need to talk about is Ritchie Street. So when I took office, within 2 weeks, I was in Commissioner Mormon's office, and I told him that we want to do Ritchie Street, and he agreed. But I told him we want to do a little twist on it. I wanted to do the work, not the county. I just wanted his money, and he went along with that.
Nice.
And believe it or not, Ritchie Street, we're rolling right along on it.
All right, I like that. And so that's from what, 225?
225 all the way down to Southmore.
And that was much needed.
Yes. Just not the street, new drainage and sidewalks. So, I mean, it's a complete job.
And so Commissioner Mormon gave us half, I believe.
Absolutely.
For that. That's wonderful. How about some of the other streets? I know Pansy was under construction for a long time.
Absolutely. Pansy, Wafer. Actually, Pansy goes from Spencer all to O Vista. That's completely all new, again, new drainage along with the new road. And also Wafer from between Eagle and Broadway and Jackson and Harris. So we are doing a lot of streets that's really needed.
I'm looking at all of these lists, and everything on this list that I kind of sneaking around on you, talking to Public Works behind your back, but it's okay. They have lots of good things to say because we have, goodness gracious, 225 water line replacement, phase 1, Fairmont water line, phase 2, McMaster's Avenue, Crenshaw, we've got Thomas, we've got Lafferty, we've got Wafer, we've got Shaw, Thomas. I mean, the list goes on, and these are paving, drainage, and then some sidewalks have been done as well, right?
Absolutely, yes ma'am. A lot of sidewalks have been done.
We do get a lot of calls for the sidewalks, and I've seen you. You've actually gone out there on your lunch break to kind of see what's going on.
Yes, I'm very proud of the work that we've done so far.
That's wonderful. Now, let's also talk about buildings. We're going to have some new, nice buildings in Pasadena.
Right across the street from here, the new court building, they're laying the foundation as we're speaking. Very excited about that. New police and fire academy, 2 separate buildings. The foundation and walls are being put up already on there.
And we just have first responders, second to none.
Absolutely. We have the best fire department, without a doubt. And again, our police department is super.
And so a place to train them and get them up to speed. And from what I understand, we have more officers on the streets thanks to you. Tell us about that.
I'm very proud of that. Yeah, we have more officers than we ever had in the history of our city, and I'm very proud of that.
Well, because we're growing. The city is so much bigger than it was when I grew up here, and we just continue to grow. And it's wonderful that you're keeping up with the demand that we need to be safe.
Absolutely.
And I know that our fire department recently won an award. They were Class 1, I believe.
Which really makes it official. We're the largest volunteer fire department in the United States. And now we can really claim it because really we are.
That's amazing. And so in addition to the training facility, we also broke ground on a new fire station, correct?
Yes, on Crenshaw, between Space Center and the Beltway.
All right, that's wonderful. And then Parks and Rec. Oh my gosh.
We're trying to improve our parks. Yes, we are.
Oh, I think you're doing more than just trying. Let's see. I spoke with our Parks and Recreation Director, and he talked to me about, we had Kaboom and Queens Park had a lot of upgrades. I think I remember seeing you out Kaboom Day. Do you want to tell everybody that may not know what Kaboom is?
Kaboom is a company that gets companies to donate money to redo parks throughout, I guess, the United States, I'm sure. They picked Memorial Park here in Pasadena. That's our first Kaboom. Besides, I also do work for the school district, and they do some of the school district playgrounds. They did Memorial Park, and that's when you saw me working at. Actually, me and my family were out there, and we had a great time helping assemble the park. And if no one's ever been to Memorial Park, go to Memorial Park. It's one of our better parks. It's really beautiful. Even being by the bayou there, it's just a good waterfront. It really looks good.
It is a beautiful park, and that playground that they redid, that was actually partially a grant as well.
Yes.
So people need to realize that we work very hard to get grants.
Right. And besides, we didn't have to pay for it. We had over 200 volunteers out there putting that thing together, and that's amazing.
And then Queens Park has seen some major upgrades, I believe, in the jogging trail and the playground.
Yes, yes, and we're very, very, very proud of that. The community's been asking for that for years, and we was able to deliver.
All right, so I'm just going to read off a couple of, well, not much more than a couple of things, and then we'll put that up on the screen for people to see. Our Parks and Recreation Department, they are going to update the splash pads at Memorial, Sunset, and Red Bluff. Holly Bay is going to get a new splash pad. Red Bluff Park, the playground, is going to go through a renovation. They've put in exercise equipment at Deepwater Trail. Oh, and this is something new that they've done. They put these expression swings at Strawberry, Vern Cox, and Holly Bay. And I don't know if you've seen the pictures, but you can actually sit with your toddler and face them.
Besides seeing the pictures, I actually put my granddaughter in it, and I've actually swung on it.
Did you?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's amazing.
And they're amazing swings. I think that mothers or fathers with their kids are going to love those.
I should have known you were onto those.
Yes.
And it's also good for the sensory. We have some of those at our Vern Cox Multipurpose Center as well.
Yes.
And we have a wonderful adaptive sports program there, and they do some great things for the kids.
Amazing.
In the programs. They really have. I mean, our Parks and Recreation Department, they went through, didn't we do a survey, I think, where the Healthy Parks plan?
Yes, we did. And we had over 800 people respond, which is great. The people are really in tune with our city. And what they say is what we do. And that's why the improvements you're talking about, this is what they wanted. That's why we're doing it.
That's wonderful. Now, something else that people have been asking about has been the transit system, the mass transit. I know that we had a bus system here in the past before you were mayor. Didn't last very long because it's kind of costly. So what's the current status of that?
Well, besides costly, on the last is the Metro transit system. The ridership just was not there. So besides being costly, when riders aren't there, it just doesn't make sense. So when I became mayor, they brought the same idea back to the table, and we looked at it. And with the county's proposal, the first year would cost us close to like $450,000. And we could do that. But the second and third year of this contract doesn't have a cost. I don't think anyone in a million years would sign anything if they don't know the cost of year 2 and year 3.
So like just a blank check?
Yes. Now think about this. If we start something and we can't afford it, that's irresponsible. And we're not going to go down that road. So we've looked at it. That's just not, right now, that's not the way that we need to go.
I mean, that would be putting the taxpayers on the hook for years on something that we may or may not use.
Absolutely, and we don't know the cost. I mean, we can't afford $2-3 billion a year on helping Harris County with the transit bus system.
And I know you were disappointed. I do remember you were very disappointed with that.
Absolutely, yes.
But you had your staff go out and look at some other options. And we do still have the rides program.
Yeah, that's right. The rides program is where you can get on our rides program and use our taxi service here in Pasadena for a lower cost. And that's another thing we're looking at, other ways to make that better. And there's things going on throughout the country that uses local taxis to make it better. There's a thing in San Antonio that we're looking at. It's called the micro transit. It's app-based. And what you do is you get on your phone and you hit the service, which is our local taxi. And they claim once they get everything in order, like if they're going to use our city, no one has to walk more than 282 feet from their house to get into the deal,
and that's
into their car.
Big thing. It's a big deterrent for bus systems because it's so hot here most of the time that, especially with our seniors, you don't want to expect them to go, 2 blocks to have to get to a bus stop.
In actuality, it'd be a lot more than 2 blocks. And who wants to walk more than 2 blocks to get and wait for a bus? So all that was we looked at everything because we're saying no to nothing. We're saying yes, but we have to say yes and be very cautious on saying yes. Just because we say yes don't mean we're going to do it. we're going to do what we can afford and what's right for this city. And we're still trying to find what's right for this city when it comes to transit.
So thinking outside the box.
Absolutely.
And taking Pasadena to the next level.
Yes.
I like that. All right, so Pasadena residents will be able to get around. We're looking into options for that so people can get around, but that's not the only exciting thing that's going to be happening on our roadways. From what I understand, a lot of our streets are going to be getting much needed drainage help from a very big proposal that you put together.
Yes, and we're very excited about that. We're fixing to start construction of 25 miles of new street, drainage, and sidewalks all through North Pasadena.
So where would that be, from like Spencer north?
Yes, absolutely, yes.
Okay, and so what will this do? I guess, heaven forbid, we have another Harvey, but what is this designed to do?
It's designed to make the streets the channel for water. Instead of water getting in your house, it stays in the street. It could get in your yard, but stays in the street, and it flows better down to drainage to get out to the channel.
So I think I've seen the pictures and I've seen how it works. And so I think the main thing for people to understand is that yes, they will see water in the streets, and that's water that's not coming up to their doors or in their homes.
That's the concept, yes.
But even though it's in the street, it's going to drain quickly, correct?
Correct. Now, we're lowering the street. If you just stop right there, you may have trouble. New drainage under the street while we're lowering the street. It's the drainage that makes it successful, just not lowering the streets. So get that straight. New drainage, 25 miles of new drainage, street and sidewalks.
And these are going to be on different streets all over the city. So
all over the city, yes.
If somebody wants to kind of look at a timetable, if they want to know when their street is coming up to be done, where should they go?
We're going to post that on the city website, and we'll personally be going out in the neighborhoods constantly letting people know your street's fixing to be under construction, and we're going to help our citizens get around. It's going to be a mess, but it's a great mess. It's a mess that needed to be done for a long time.
A little pain for a lot of gain.
Yes, that's
so,
what we're saying.
Yeah, if we could just have everybody be patient on that one.
Yes, yes.
Okay, when it's undergoing, it's going to be great. All right, something else that we have going on that's great are our gateway signs, because you know Pasadena is growing, and we are very proud of the economic strides that we're making, the jobs that are being created here. People need to know they're here. So we have signs around town, but I think that we're going to get some more, right?
Our brand new gateway signs right there at the Beltway and Fairmont Parkway. It's absolutely beautiful. I mean, it looks as good as Pasadena looks.
Which is one of the busiest retail districts in the country, I've been told.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I wish I could take credit for that sign, but that's been going on for 7 years. It just happened to just be built while I'm mayor.
We do get things done.
Yes, I like that. But we're going to do several more signs. We're going to do one like coming in from 225, and there's other places throughout the city. We haven't picked them out yet, but we're going to do 3 more throughout the city.
So
this is just our first one.
In other areas,
Absolutely.
So both sides.
Yes.
All right. So what has made you most proud in these first 2 years?
What's made me most proud is how citizens throughout this whole city has said thank you, and you know it's just amazing. And each one of them has a different story. One person says thank you for helping this neighborhood being cleaned up. Thank you for just so many. Thank you for new sidewalk. Thank you for caring, and that's the most important part when I hear that. Thank you for caring, because I just was I just thought everybody would think all our city government people would be caring. And I'm sure they hear that a lot too, but when I hear it, it goes straight to my heart. And that's what I'm here for, because I care about this city.
I know you do. You are nonstop. I mean, you go to the homeowners association meetings, you go to the civic club associations. I mean, you are busy and you are out and about. I'd like to have some of your energy.
You know, I find it to me, an honor being mayor, and if I just stayed home, the honor wouldn't be real. So I try my best to go to every ribbon cutting, every homeowners, anything the city has, I try my best to be there. And if I can't make it, I'll send my wife. And I think sometimes I like her more than me, but my point is, we try our best to get out in the public. You know, without us being out there, how would we know how to fix things? And I hear so many complaints good complaints. Some complaints people just gonna be complainers. But there's lots of good complaints out there. And together, me and whoever's given the complaint, we work out solutions together. And that's how we're successful.
Constructive criticism.
Absolutely.
How about that?
I like that.
All right, well, so I had a chance to visit with some of your most demanding constituents, and I happened to get them on video. So we're gonna take a look, and they had some questions for you.
Okay.
All right, so here I need to turn my ring. Let's see what they say. Here we go. You can push play on that one if you'd like.
Okay.
Hi, Mayor. What's your favorite Astro?
My favorite Astro right now would be Garrett Cole. But if you look back in history, it had to be either Nolan Ryan, well, just Nolan Ryan, but Garrett Cole right there is my favorite right now.
All right, okay, so here's another one.
Mayor, do you remember when you were in kindergarten?
I do remember.
Did you ever get to move your clip down?
I'm sure I stayed in trouble when I was in kindergarten.
Not you.
I'm
sure. All right. Here's a cute little boy.
What is your favorite thing about being a mayor?
My favorite thing about being mayor is helping people, and I love helping people.
I think you know him too.
And what's funny is that's Branson, my grandson, right there. And thank you for letting me ask the question. It really
You didn't
surprised me
know,
when I
right?
saw him.
Well, it was funny because whenever we contacted the elementary school, Tish Eubanks, who is our school district liaison, she called and they just asked the teacher. They said, we'd like some students that will speak up and ask really good questions. And when we saw him coming, we just died laughing.
Oh my, I could not believe
He's like a little man. You better watch it. He may be running against you one day.
We call him the mini mayor.
He is the mini mayor. He is. All right, and here's our last question. Okay. Oopsies. Okay.
Hi, Mayor. What's your favorite number?
My favorite number is number 1 because Pasadena is number 1.
You know what? I can't think of a better note to end on. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
joining
much.
us again.
You bet.
Thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you.